Two brothers grow up in the same house, same parents, same neighborhood, same public school. At 22, they both land jobs paying $45,000 a year. By 45, one of them has a net worth of $2.3 million. The other has $11,000 in a savings account and $34,000 in credit card debt. Same starting point, completely different endings. And here's what's strange. The millionaire brother didn't earn more money, didn't get lucky in crypto, didn't inherit anything, didn't start a company. The only difference was invisible. It lived inside his head, and once you see what it is, you cannot unsee it. Most people believe that millionaires think about money more than everyone else, that they're obsessed with it, tracking every penny, stressed about returns, constantly checking their portfolio. That belief feels logical. Of course, rich people think about money more, they have more of it. But it's completely wrong. Here's the truth that flips everything upside down. Millionaires think about money less than average people do. Not because they are carefree, not because they don't care about their finances, because they've built a relationship with money that most Americans never learn. A relationship where money works on autopilot, where decisions happen by design, not by emotion, where the financial future is already written, and they don't have to panic about it every month. The average American thinks about money constantly, and still ends up with almost nothing. The millionaire barely thinks about it and ends up with everything. How does that happen? That's exactly what we're going to break open today. Let's go back to those two brothers. We'll call them Derek and Jason. They're 24 now, 2 years into their careers. Derek just got a raise. He's making $52,000. First thing he does? Upgrades his apartment. Gets a new car, $430 a month payment. Starts going out more, because he deserves it. Buys nicer clothes for work. Picks up a few new subscriptions. His life looks better. But here's what actually happened. Derek's monthly take-home went up by about $380 after taxes. His new expenses went up by $600. He is now spending more than he earns, and he has no idea. He tells himself he'll start investing when things settle down. When he pays off the car. When he gets the next raise. That moment never comes. Now let's look at Jason. Jason gets the same raise. He moves exactly 0 things in his life. Same apartment. Same car, a 2017 Honda he owns outright. Same habits. But he does one thing Derek doesn't. The morning his raise kicks in, Jason logs into his brokerage account and increases his automatic investment by $200 a month. He doesn't see the money. He doesn't miss the money. He doesn't think about the money. He just quietly redirects it before his brain has a chance to spend it. To his coworkers, Jason looks like he's doing fine, nothing flashy. No new car. No designer sneakers. But underneath the surface, something is happening. Compound interest is starting to work. And here's where the story gets uncomfortable. 10 years later, Derek is still saying, "I'll start investing soon." Jason has $190,000 in his brokerage account. They both earned nearly the same amount over those 10 years. The difference was not income. The difference was the operating system inside their heads. So what is Jason doing differently at the level of psychology? It comes down to 3 mental shifts that millionaires make, and most people never do. The first shift. They see money as a tool, not a reward. For most Americans, money represents relief. It's the thing that makes the stress go away. So every time they earn more, they spend more, because spending feels like releasing pressure. Millionaires don't feel that pressure in the same way. Not because they're robots. Because they've reprogrammed what money means to them. To them, a dollar saved is not a sacrifice. It's a unit of future freedom. Every $100 they don't spend today becomes leverage tomorrow. The second shift. They make decisions based on net worth, not cash flow. Here's where it gets really interesting. Most people think about money in terms of what's in their bank account right now. Do I have enough this month? Millionaires think in terms of their entire financial picture. Is this decision growing or shrinking my net worth? That is a completely different question. And it changes every financial decision you make. Buying a depreciating car on a loan? Net worth shrinks. Paying rent on an apartment above your means? Net worth shrinks. Putting $300 into index funds? Net worth grows. Simple. Almost boring. But most people never ask the question. The third shift, they're afraid of a different thing. Here's the one that hits hardest. Average people are afraid of looking poor. They drive the nicer car, wear the name brand, live in the better zip code, even when they can't afford it, because the social cost of looking broke feels unbearable. Millionaires are afraid of staying poor. That fear of waking up at 60 with nothing is so deeply wired into their decisions that it overrides every short-term status signal. They don't care if you think their car is modest. They care that in 20 years they never have to work again if they don't want to. That reframing, from looking wealthy to becoming wealthy, is the mental shift that separates the two brothers at 45. Here's the reveal: millionaires don't have better financial knowledge than you. They have better financial instincts, instincts that were built, not inherited. Here's the uncomfortable part. Every day, you are training your financial instincts. The question is, what are you training them to do? Every time you upgrade your lifestyle after a raise, you train your brain that more income equals more spending. Every time you avoid checking your bank account because it's stressful, you train your brain that financial ignorance is comfort. Every time you tell yourself, I'll invest when I have more money, you train your brain that the future can always wait. And every time you make one of these decisions, it gets easier to make the same decision again. That's not a character flaw. That's neuroscience. Your habits are just deeply grooved patterns, but here's what that means. You can carve new grooves. The millionaire mindset is not a personality type. It's a set of practiced responses to money that anyone in any income bracket can start building today. So how do you actually rewire this? 5 shifts you can start this week. 1. Stop budgeting. Start automating. Budgets require willpower every single month. Millionaires don't rely on willpower. They automate their investments, so the decision is already made. Set up an automatic transfer the day your paycheck hits. Even $50. The amount grows. The habit is what matters. 2. Every raise gets split immediately. When your income goes up, take half the increase and automatically redirect it to investments before you adjust your lifestyle. This one rule, practiced for a decade, is responsible for more millionaires than any investment strategy in history. 3. Calculate your net worth once a month. Not your bank balance. Your net worth. Assets minus debts. Write it down. Track the number. When you watch that number grow, even slowly, your brain starts connecting good financial decisions to a reward. That changes your instincts over time. 4. Ask the net worth question before every big purchase. Does this grow or shrink my net worth? Not every answer will be no. But asking the question interrupts the autopilot spending that keeps most Americans financially stuck. 5. Stop performing wealth. Start building it. The car, the apartment, the clothes. If you're buying them to signal success to other people, that signal is costing you your actual future. The most financially dangerous thing you can do is spend real money on a fake image. Derek and Jason ended up at different places not because of luck or talent or income. Because one of them learned to think about money the way it actually works. And one of them thought about money the way it feels. Feelings are expensive. The people who look the wealthiest in your life are often one bad month away from financial panic. The people quietly becoming wealthy look completely ordinary, because they made a decision a long time ago that their future mattered more than their image. You don't need to earn more to think like a millionaire. You need to decide what you're more afraid of, looking poor today, or actually being poor at 60. That one decision will determine everything.